to take of a cup that Jesus himself was conflicted about taking of. They said, let us be apart. Let us sit on your left and let us sit on your right. But Jesus said, yeah, you want the assignment, you want the glory, you want the position, but are you willing to drink from the same cup? Can you take of the cup of which I drink? Now, they were asking to take of a cup that Jesus himself was conflicted about taking. Jesus himself, in was found in Matthew 26 and around verse 39, when he was there in Gethsemane, he was asking God himself. He said, Lord, if you can you let this cup pass from me? But he said, not my will, thy will be done. So James and John were asking for positions in heaven, but then Jesus reminded them to take hold of that position. You have to drink of my cup. And the cup that I have to drink of, I'm not certain, especially in this human body, that I want it myself. Jesus was conflicted about the cup. Jesus himself was concerned because he understood for him to take of the cup that he had to shed blood. And the problem is many people, they want the title, they want the position, but they don't want to sacrifice. Nobody wants to shed the blood. Jesus said, yeah, it sounds good to sit on my left hand. It sounds good to sit on my right hand. But are you ready to shed blood for the cause of Christ? Are you ready to sacrifice? Are you ready to give of yourself for somebody else? And that's what it's about, because we as Christians, we have to understand the sacrifice of Jesus. If it taught us anything, it taught us that we're here for the purpose of somebody else. And I hear all the time people say, well, I don't need to come to church, and I don't need to gather, and I don't need to fellowship. But baby, if you got it together, then somebody else needs you. If you know how to walk according to God, if you know how to live according to Jesus Christ, if you figured this thing out, then you ought to be willing to sacrifice for somebody else. What's the purpose of being saved? What's the purpose of being close to God if you don't share what God has given you with somebody else? Jesus didn't have to come down and sacrifice his body, but he came down just for us, because for God so loved the world that he gave. He understood that true love is about giving.